I'm from AEOA, Employment and Training Department, and our office is over at the Career Force Building, which is we're by Kitty Carousel's in the same building. The Hibbing Chrysler Center is near us. Um, Anyhow, and today I am going to talk about digital literacy for today's job search. Well, what is digital literacy? Well, confidently using technology and being able to find information, communicate, complete tasks. Um, Some examples are using a smartphone to check email, filling out online job applications, uploading a resume, joining a video call, searching for online information, saving and finding files, using apps for work, like scheduling or time tracking. And it's not about being a tech expert, it's about being able to use everyday technology in a practical and comfortable way. Well, why does it matter? And technology is a part of almost every job now. Even entry-level job experts or even entry-level jobs expect some digital skills like clocking in on an app or clocking in online, checking schedules online, watching training videos, and most employers only accept online applications. I know in Hibbing there are two places that still have, there's more, but I know of two. Super One still has paper applications, I
Really?
believe. Yep. And Rudy's.
Yeah, pizza does.
Sammy's, okay. So,
Leave the paper.
right.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but rare,
It is rare. Yeah. And you will find that in the smaller kind of places that still have the paper applications. And applying on paper, yeah, it's and employers do a lot of their communication through email and texting. And missing emails means missing job opportunities. I'll speak about that in a little while. It makes job searching faster and less stressful. And when people know how to save files, upload resumes, and check email, everything becomes easier. And it helps people stay organized. There's digital tools that help track interviews, appointments, deadlines, and follow-ups. Um, Digital literacy helps to build confidence, and many clients avoid job searching because technology feels intimidating. And digital literacy removes that barrier. Also, it keeps people safe when they're online, knowing what's real and what's fake, um, protecting yourselves from scams and fraud. So we're going to take a look at some professional email addresses. So professional would be like first name dot last name at, or Jane dot doe, first name dot last name. The year is fine. S dot Smith job search dot or at, in the email domain. These other emails are some pretty funny, like cutie pie 84, party girl 420, those funny ones. And excuse me, it's okay to have a funny email address between your friends, or if you're, online shopping, your email and stuff. But if you're applying for a job, you have to remember that the employer is looking for somebody that's going to represent their company. And so they want to see that professionalism right off the bat. And your email address is often the very first impression that an employer gets, and hiring managers see your email before they even see your resume. So if you have an email that says party girl 420,
Like,
right?
I've got it off the wall one and I wouldn't use it. It's not safe for work.
Yeah, and off the wall email is fine for your personal use. Yeah, right.
My professional one.
Oh, yeah.
Then yeah.
Right.
But I can still get into it, but I think I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We, where I work, my side of or AEOA side of the building is cubicles, and the reemployment specialist that works for the state is in a cubicle near mine. And I hear she'll repeat emails back to people to confirm that she has them correct. And she will say, are you using this email for job searching? Because some of them are, and I can't repeat them because of, confidentiality, but some of them I'm like, hey, let's identify something here. So a professional email makes you look organized and job ready, and that you're going to take the job seriously and represent the company well. And then also email etiquette when you are following up with an email or trying to find a job. There's some examples here like, hey, I'm trying to apply for the job, and using numbers instead of writing it out. Can you call me? Thanks, THX. Yo, what's up? I need a job ASAP. Hit me back. when you're checking a job, you want to be professional again. Hello, I'm interested in this position. My resume is attached. Here's how I can be contacted. Thank you. Just keeping up with that professionalism. Again, they're looking for someone that's going to be representing their company. So, all right. So some smartphone skills, using reminders. So you can use your phone's built-in reminders or the calendar app to keep track of job interviews, appointments, and deadlines. I use my reminders all the time, and I set my alarm on my phone to remind me to do things because sticky notes are a little cumbersome. So, but yeah, I use my reminders and my phone's clock all the time. But it helps you keep track of things and setting reminders for checking emails and submitting applications or calling somebody back. Even one reminder a day can make job searching feel more manageable and not as overwhelming. Saving and finding files. Knowing where files are saved prevents frustration and it speeds up applications. When you download a file like your resume, your phone or computer usually puts it in a folder called downloads. And if you rename your files, then they're much easier to find. For example, Maria_Smith underscore resume.pdf. Then a phone files might go into the Files app, Google Drive, OneDrive, or Photos, depending on how it's saved. And if you can't find a file, there is search options. Like on, I have an iPhone, so on the bottom here, you can hit search, and then I start typing in the file that I'm looking for, and it'll pop up at the top there. And then your computer also has that option too to search for what you're looking for. If you can't find it, just saves time. But then also making specific files, knowing where they are before you start applications helps with that organization and saves stress. Use simple, clear names, practice opening and closing files so you know where they live. And uploading of photos and documents and knowing how makes it easier. So when an online application asks you to upload a file, it means choosing a file already saved on your device. And if you're on a phone, you may see options like file, photos, cameras, or browse. So you want to choose files for documents like resumes and cover letters, and choose photos only if they specifically need a picture, like a document, like a certificate, and try to place it on a flat surface and it's well lit. And also make sure that the light isn't casting a shadow from your phone onto your document. So you might have to move it around a little bit to get that picture. And then if your resume is in the wrong format, the application may reject it. So PDFs usually work best. And then if the file is too big, try a new photo or saving it as a PDF. These steps get easier the more that you practice, and technology feels overwhelming until you've done it a few times. And it's not about being perfect, it's about being confident enough to complete applications on your own and take your time. Slow is fine, accurate is better than fast. So we'll talk about online job applications. So required, next slide. No. Required fields. Required fields are boxes. They're typically marked with like a red star, or it'll say required. And if you skip them, the application won't let you continue forward in the process. And employers use these fields to get the most important information, like your name, your phone number, work history. And if the system keeps saying missing information, go back over it, see if you missed something. And you don't have to know every answer. You can put N/A, not applicable, instead of leaving it blank. And again, slow down, read everything that's on the page. And then copy and pasting correctly. So many applications ask you to type your work history, even if you've uploaded a resume. I find that incredibly redundant. I don't know why I have to do this twice. But if it's required, then you do it. And copy paste can save a lot of time, but make sure that you're doing it cleanly. Before pasting anything, make sure you're highlighting only what you want to copy and paste, only what you need, and double check for extra spaces, weird symbols, or formatting issues. Symbols may not transfer between formats. And if you run into errors, like if your text pastes in all caps or strange spacing, you can delete it and try again. And always read what you pasted to make sure that it looks right. Employers do notice sloppy sections.
Just like proofread all of it before you submit.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for copying from a simple text version of the resume to avoid formatting problems, you can use Control C, which is copy, Control V, which is paste. And then on a phone, it's long hold, or long press on your phone, and then, well, not that part, over words, and it'll give you the option to copy and then paste. Yep. Uploading resumes. When an application asks you to upload a resume, it means choosing a file that's already saved on your device, like I said before. And most systems prefer PDFs. PDFs look clean and they don't change formatting, and I'll go into that a little deeper later. And then if uploading isn't worked, check to see if the file is too big, if the website accepts the format that you're using. And then making sure that you are using the file or renaming the file so that it's something that's clear, like first name underscore last name. And then if the upload freezes, try a different browser. Chrome seems to be a popular browser that works best for most job boards. All right, understanding applicant tracking systems, the ATS. Well, what ATS does is it helps employers sort and organize applications. It's a computer program and that they use that some companies get hundreds of job applications. And the ATS helps them manage all of that. So it's like a digital gatekeeping. And it scans resumes before a human ever sees them. And the ATS looks for specific information like your experience, your skills, and whether your resume matches the job posting. So it doesn't judge you. It just scans for words and sections that it expects to find, like work history, skills, education. And if the ATS can't read your resume or can't find what it's looking for, it may not move you forward. So why keywords matter, and that's because the ATS is looking for certain words that are taken directly from the job posting. And keywords are the exact skills or tasks that the employer is looking for. The ATS scans your resume to see if you have those words, and if you don't, it might think that you're not qualified. So look at the job posting and match your resume to the language that they use. And if the job description says customer service or data entry or attention to detail, use those same words as long as they are true for you. And you're not changing your experience, you're simply using the employer's language. So if the job posting says cash handling, don't say handled payments. Use those specific words that are in the job posting. And if it says Microsoft Word, say exactly Microsoft Word, not computer experience. They're going to want to see what computer experience you have. What programs have you used? Are you familiar with? And fancy resumes confuse ATS. So simple layouts work best. ATS systems, they can't read text that's inside tables or boxes, columns. They don't read images. So you want to keep your resume pretty simple. Don't use graphics, logos, or unusual fonts. ATS won't be able to read it. So a clean, plain resume will get you further than a pretty resume that the system can't read or understand. So the simpler your resume is, the easier it is for the ATS and the recruiter to understand you. And something about like ATS with the, I know that Mintac, who was talking about how they get hundreds of applications. Mintac, HR shared with us that when they open their utility position, which is kind of like the general entry for anyone that isn't like skilled in a trade and driving the trucks and just, that simple thing. She said, not simple, but broad category. And she shared with us that when they post that job opening, they get so many applications, they usually pull it down that same day. And so then they're using that ATS to get through. And another point on that, to go back to making sure you're organized and checking your emails, I actually had a dislocated worker that applied for a job at Mintac for the utility position, was offered an interview, and when he checked his email to sign up for an interview, all of the interview spots were taken. So even though he was offered the interview, there wasn't enough space. So I don't know how that happens, but it was unreal. Any questions so far? I talked fast. Try not to, but okay. And again, not every employer uses ATS, but the ones that do, you want to make sure your resume is formatted for that. Another thing, the ATS, if you use, oftentimes we see like lines between sections in resumes, and that's okay. Don't make them too thick, because if the ATS is scanning your resume and it's scanning too much of a thick line, it'll think there's nothing there and it'll cast it out. Yeah, fun. Gotten so technical with this stuff. Resumes used to be, 3 to 5 pages of everything you've done since second grade. And now you got about 15 seconds to sell yourself and 1 page, 2 if you have a master's degree. So job search safety, this is super important, especially with online job searching, because there are so many scams. So we're going to talk about avoiding them. Not every job posting online is real, and scammers target people who are job searching. And there are real employers online, but there are also people pretending to be employers. So your goal is to protect your personal information while you're still applying for the real opportunities. So things to keep in mind: a real employer will never ask you for money, for gift cards, for your social security number, or anything during the application stage. If something feels off, rushed, or too good to be true, trust your gut. Take a step back. If the job is real, it'll still be there tomorrow, unless there's an end date for the job posting. Look for that too. But anyway, so keep in mind that a real job should pay you, not cost you. And then watching for red flags like unrealistic pay. $40 an hour for data entry, no experience needed. That's a red flag. And requesting personal information too early. Again, real employers are not going to ask you for your social security number, bank account information, or your birth date. That is stuff that happens after you've been offered the job, after you've been hired. And then no interview. Like, oh, we're going to hire you without ever talking to you. That's a red flag. Asking you to move money or packages, that's a huge red flag and probably illegal. They're probably having you do something illegal. Reshipping or transferring money is almost always a scam, and it can involve stolen items. Bad grammar or strange email addresses. A major company isn't going to contact you from a Gmail or Yahoo account. For example, I work for AEOA, so my email is audra.preble@aeoa.org, not at yahoo.com, right? So keep that in mind. Look at who the email is from and who's posting it. So trusted websites only. Stick to reputable, well-known job boards and official employer websites. And when in doubt, go directly to the company's website and you can apply from there. Keep in mind, a lot of websites are using Indeed, or companies are using Indeed for their applications, and it may redirect you to Indeed, and that's fine. But if you want to double check on the validity of a job opening, go right to the site. Avoid random ads on social media that lead to job offers, especially if they ask you to message someone personally. Red flag there. Other trusted, like government and school district jobs, they'll always be posted to their official sites. So using like state job banks, careerforce.mn.gov. We know that one's trusted. We know the owners. Indeed, there are some scam jobs on Indeed, but it is a trusted site. Just do your homework on when you are applying for jobs. LinkedIn, and then company websites. There's also known staffing agencies that have physical locations. And I know Hibbing has a couple. Always Their Staffing is on First Avenue. Doherty Staffing Services, they're actually in the same building as CareerForce. Yeah. And then something to think about, if you wouldn't click the link for your bank account, don't click it for a job. Okay, so we're just going to go over a couple of things just to take a look at what some of these scam posts could look like, or if it's a legit posting. These are just examples. So what we're looking at here is customer service rep at North River Medical Group, $19.50 an hour, full-time, Monday through Friday. Location is on site. It gives a description of, what they're looking for, the requirements, and how to apply. It's giving their company website where to apply. So anybody see any red flags with this job posting?
The website looks legit, 'cause it's .org.
.org, yeah. Right, this one, not really any immediate red flags, seems pretty legit. Now this one, work from home and start today. They're gonna pay you 40 to 50 hours. You choose your own hours, it's remote, you don't need any experience, or we're gonna pay you what a master's degree would pay you. So I'm being dramatic. We're gonna send you a check to purchase software. Must respond quickly and send your full name, your address, your date of birth, your bank account, all that to this email at Outlook, you know? Definitely some red flags there, right? All right. How about this one? Right,
No.
right. Red flags right off the bat. Yeah, reshipping, exactly. Yep. Texting apply to this phone number. Okay. Yeah. And this isn't meant to insult anybody's intelligence, just to get you aware of some of the red flags to look for. Here's another one that seems pretty realistic. Not red flags. It spells it out there. It's not overpayment. There's a description, the .org employment.
Isn't anything .org or .gov like official a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no red flags here. It's pretty straightforward that it's got what we would say was safe. And then another one, $250 to $300 a day. So breaking that down, that's $250 a day is about $31 an hour, to give you an idea. Part-time, location, your area. So obviously there's red cash paid daily. Okay. Requirements must be trustworthy and able to transfer money quickly. So definitely some red flags. And again, that email, you're applying at somebody's Gmail email. So any questions on red flags? Like I said, these were pretty dramatic ones, just to kind of give you an idea on what to look for. So file management, finding downloads. So knowing where your file goes after downloading saves frustration and makes job applications much easier. I still sometimes struggle with this one. If I don't pay attention and I don't hit the certain folder I want it to go to, and I'm like, where did it go? I'm not gonna do my search. So again, slowing down, making sure you know where these files are going. When you download something like your resume, a pay stub, or a form, it usually goes into a folder of downloads. On a phone, it might be in your Files app. And again, if you're not sure where it went, search. But if you know where your files live and you can find them fast, helps with organization and making uploading things much easier. Renaming your files so that you know what they are and all of your files aren't Audra Preble, Audra Preble, Audra Preble. Okay. So say what it is. And then also keep in mind that when you upload a document, the employer sees what you have that file named. So make sure that you're naming it, and you can use it like audra.preble.employment counselor. So I know that's going to that employment counselor job application. But just making sure that you're not naming it like Audra's greatest resume ever, and then uploading, and then also making it easier to find. And then PDF versus Word. PDFs are best for sending resumes because they keep your formatting safe. PDF looks the same on every device, a phone, a computer, Mac, Windows, and a Word document can change depending on the software that's being used to open that document. And sometimes it can make your resume look messy. If the job application allows both, that you can upload either a PDF or a Word document, always go with PDF.
Is there a way to convert Word to PDF, or not everyone has Microsoft Word, not everyone has Adobe.
Right.
So is there
So
like a free one?
I'm actually going to go through how to do that
Oh,
when,
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
when we're
I
done.
think there.
Yeah. I just didn't plan for it during the presentation because I don't know how to I'm not an expert on tech stuff, but when it comes to the split screen stuff, so I did save that for afterwards. I'll show how to do that. Yeah. Um, so the only time to send a Word document is if the employer specifically asks for that. So the differences between PDF and Word, or just like a notebook type, I'll just say Word just for the differences. So a PDF is locked and it can't be changed, whereas Word is editable. A PDF looks the same everywhere. In Word, the format can change in between the different software programs. And then the PDF is best for resumes and a Word is best for drafts. So thinking about PDF protects, Word edits, and I recommend always saving a copy of your resume in Word so that you can edit it easily. Because once you save it in PDF, there it is. So you don't have to retype the whole thing. And then when you save it as a PDF, give it that name that you want it to have. And then save the final draft you'll be using as a PDF in. You save yourself a lot of stress if you know where your downloads go, renaming them so that they're clear, and then using PDFs whenever possible. This makes online applications a lot easier. Some helpful tools. And these are just a few, just to give you some ideas. So Google Docs, free, easy way to create and edit resumes, cover letters, job search documents. I think you do have to have a Google account, but those are free too. And Google Docs works on both phones and computers, automatically saves your work so you don't lose anything if your phone dies or computer dies or your laptop gets shut and didn't save for whatever reason. I think it doesn't do that anymore. And then you can access your files anywhere, library, friend's house, as long as you have your Gmail. And it's also great for people who don't have Microsoft Word. And then you can download your resume as a PDF right from Google Docs. And Google Docs is very beginner friendly. There's Indeed tools that lets you store your resume so that you don't have to upload it every time. You can use the free Indeed resume builder to quickly create a clean, simple resume. Indeed also shows your application history so you can track what jobs you've applied for. You can have job alerts emailed to you, and you can use your Indeed profile. Employers can find you, not just the other way around. Another good one with that is LinkedIn. Grammarly helps fix spelling and grammar mistakes, even for people who struggle with writing. I'm told it's a free tool. I'm not sure how much you can use it free because I know a friend of mine has an account that she paid for, but she was going to school for her bachelor's degree, so she might have been using it a lot and maybe more in depth. I did not check it out for myself much, but it's out there to help with those mistakes, helping you sound clear and professional. There's also ChatGPT. That's a good one too. I know, I think there's a limit on ChatGPT even after a while. It says you use it too much and then you got to wait. I'm not sure. I don't run into that because AEOA uses Outlook and Copilot is part of Outlook. And so since we have that, I don't have a limit, which is good. Google Calendar helps you keep track of your job interviews, appointments, reminders. You can set alerts, notifications for interviews or deadlines. Helps you stay reliable, and it shows employers that you care. And for staying on top of things, you can schedule routines like checking your email every morning. If you have an interview at like 2 p.m., you can set a reminder to start getting ready at this time. You know how long it's going to take to get there, making time for traffic if that's the case, and that kind of thing. And these tools are free, easy to use, make job searching less stressful. They help with writing, organization, and staying on top of opportunities. Again, this is just a few of the tools that are out there. There's many. Just watch for the free ones. There's plenty of free ones where you don't have to pay for anything. Any questions? All right. So I'm going to put a thank you in there. All right. I'm going to end my slideshow. So technology can feel overwhelming, but just keep practicing, keep working at it. Wait, okay.